Wanderers are in.
Okay.
The app.
On the app? Okay, great. Bang, thank you. All right, so Hall, yes. Keep, yes. Khalil in for Murray. Natali in. Gabila in. Okay, lots of changes. So... all right, let's... okay, 1 Hall, Amy. 2 Keep, Annabella. 6 Khalil. Maya. 8 Natali. Mia. 12 Gabila. Madison. 13 Koshaba. Alvina. 14 Barton, Chelsea. Barton, Chelsea. Do you want me to put the volume back up? No? Okay. 16 Starchich, Annika. Amy Barker's playing, okay. 21 Barker, Amy. 27 Bradshaw. Bradshaw. Charlotte. Turkan, Alara, 10 Sultan, Isabella, 11 Mackenzie, Alyssa, 18 DaCosta, 30 Edwards, Zoe, and 31 Driscoll and Nika. Okay. Do we have uni? We do. Okay. So, Naylor, Karastal, Puxty, Yamahata, Channing, Kulazakis, Moreno, Kasakia, Christodoulou, Kokoris, Hammond. No changes.
Hey.
No changes. And on the bench, Chloe Smith, who was there last week, Carla Howell, Sonali Singh, Leah Burton, Georgia Plessis. against the Western City Rangers, who then went on to have a very good win today, Western City Rangers. So that win is now starting to stack up even stronger than it already looked on paper after the first weekend. Taking a look at the lineups for this one, Wanderers will have the same keeper, Amy Hall in goal, but they've made a number of changes. Millie Bennett is out, as is Alyssa Ngsard and Nikita Fazari. In have come Maya Khalil, Mia Natali, and also Madison Gabila. Annika Stajic is also starting this one ahead of Miriam Zamaya. Those 4 A-League women's players have all made way out of the squad completely, so it's a bit of a reshuffled bench for the Wanderers team tonight. Whereas for UNSW, it is a completely same team, both starters and bench for this one. They've seen no need to change anything from the opening round game. Cool. So my levels here are fine. Okay, I've just put it back down to 0 so we can talk now. I'll turn it back up when they walk out of the tunnel. Any names you want to go over, or are you happy with pronunciation of all the names?
Number 6 for UNSW.
Yamahata. Aya Yamahata. Any others? Just shout out.
I think I'm good.
Great. Just bear with me. I'm scrambling to get this team written down here.
You're all good.
Milan Hammond. Don't do that. It's shorts weather. You're going to make me cold. My plan is to wear shorts all the way until June.
Fair enough.
No, not really. It'll get cold eventually.
I'll try. That's why I'm just like, don't know what the wind's going to be like.
No. It's a very good idea. I'm glad you bought something, because we're not finishing until 9 o'clock, so it is going to be quite a late finish. 7 o'clock on a Sunday, and it's not a public holiday tomorrow, is it? No.
No.
Now, Placis, Georgia, nearly there. 29, Nakari, Daniela, and they're one short on the bench again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the bench only. Okay. Okay, let's get the stream up.
One more dance, and I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to leave.
all our sound checks ended up on the stream, so that's why you got to take them seriously.
Okay.
Mike's always live.
Lovely.
Never say anything to get yourself in trouble. All right, we've got... Good evening, welcome to the Village Green. It's NPL Women's New South Wales Round 2, and two teams with perfect records after the opening weekend squaring off as University of New South Wales host the Western Sydney Wanderers. Teo Pellizzeri with you for this one alongside Emily Arnold. It's a 7 o'clock local kickoff. It's been a sunny day, but in the setting sun, a bit of wind around, but beautiful conditions for football. Emily, great to see you alongside me here. Looking forward to what we're going to see from these two teams tonight.
Thank you, Teo. Yeah, definitely very excited to see a good game of football here. We've had a few games this afternoon, and now we're coming up to our seniors, and it's looking up to be an exciting match.
Now, don't be fooled. The mascots holding hands there with UNSW are mascots. Western Sydney Wanderers just haven't made their way out of the tunnel just yet. It gives us plenty of time to talk about the lineups for tonight's game. Let's start with the home side, UNSW, who are completely unchanged from last week's win against the Western City Rangers. Goalkeeper Erin Naylor, number 4, Alexia Caristal, 5, Leah Puxty, 6, Aya Yamahata, 7, Poppy Channing, 8, Demi Koulazakis, 9, Lexi Moreno, 16, Sky Kasakia, 17, Angelique Christodoulou, 21, Jennifer Kokoris, and 24, Milan Hammond. Walking out onto the pitch now, the Wanderers, they're playing in their home kits for this one due to no kit clash, so they'll be in red and black today. And their goalkeeper is Amy Hall, 2, Annabella Keep, 6, Maya Khalil, 8, Mia Natali, 12, Madison Gavilla, 13, Alvina Kashaba, 14, Chelsea Barton, 16, Annika Starcic, 21, Amy Barker, 27, Charlotte Bradshaw, and 28, Frida Caraberis. Wanderers A-League played yesterday, so from last week's team, there's no Millie Bennett, Alyssa Ngsard, Miriam Zumaya, or Nikita Fasari. All 4 of those have dropped out of today's NPLW squad. And let's take a look at the benches now for UNSW. Just the 6 on the bench. Carla Howell, their backup keeper. 10, Chloe Smith. 13, Sonali Singh. 14, Leah Burton. 18, Georgia Plessis. And 29, Daniela Nakari. And for the Western Sydney Wanderers, their bench is 9, Alara Turkan. 10, Isabella Sultan. 11, Alyssa McKenzie. 18, Ava DaCosta. 26, Sienna Arate. 30, Zoe Edwards. And 31, Annika Driscoll. The refs are with us. Today's referee is Jerry Beatas. And Emily, I'll get your final thoughts before these two teams kick off. What can we expect tonight? Of course, academy teams can vary greatly in terms of personnel. No exception today, with Wanderers making 4 changes between round 1 and round 2, while there are big expectations on this UNSW team to be contenders this season.
Yeah, Tara, I think UNSW have got a lot of rep to be one of the teams to beat here. For Wanderers, I think it is very important to note that they have had quite a few of their A-League players drop out, including their goal scorer from last week, Alyssa Ngsard. So it'll be very interesting to see who's going to come up and take that position.
Of course, the Wanderers A-League team were mathematically eliminated from finals contention yesterday, so the end of one season, they'll play only the 2 more games to finish their 20-game A-League women's campaign, and then it'll be interesting to see which of those players do filter down on a more regular basis to play in the NPL team. But it is a very young outfit tonight, taking on a UNSW team which is filled with experience, the international experience of Erin Naylor, but also former Australian youth internationals like Angelique Christodoulou and Leah Puxty, Lexi Moreno. There's a lot of players with very good resumes in this UNSW team. Handshakes going on between the two captains at the moment. Amy Barker wearing the armband for Wanderers this evening, and Angelique Christodoulou, who of course started her A-League career at the Western Sydney Wanderers a number of years ago now. She's the captain of UNSW. Good healthy crowd in here at the Village Green, as there has been all day. Perfect weather and lots of parents and followers of the junior grades. But now we have the seniors. Every other game is just about wrapped up. We'll give you the scores from what's gone on around the grounds earlier this afternoon. And hello to anyone who's just finished their game, coaches and players alike, who are all tuning in to see how this final game goes.
I think, as you mentioned, Teo, UNSW do have a few relations to the Wanderers there, a few players that have played for them. They obviously have a player on the book, Ava Collins, who is signed with Western Sydney Wanderers in the A-League Women's. Interesting fact.
That is a very good point, because it means that Collins, who's currently an injury replacement in the A-League, is not able to play tonight. But we will see her at some point wearing the yellow and black of UNSW during the season. So it's a mild evening, perfect conditions for football, and there's a light-ish breeze. If anything, it's favouring the right of screens, but I don't think it's going to be hugely influential on the game. So the referee's happy, and we're not far away from kicking off here. Wanderers to attack the left of your screens in this first half as they take kickoff in round 2 of NPL Women's New South Wales, and we're underway at the Village Green with UNSW hosting Western Sydney Wanderers, two teams that won their opener and are now looking to go 2 from 2, and it's an early touch here for one of the inclusions, Madison Gabilla. Misplaced pass into midfield though, Alexia Karastal looking to push in the other direction. Frida Caraberis able to intercept, and now Wanderers reset with Charlotte Bradshaw out to the right side where Annabella Keep is on the ball. Karastal gets another touch here, playing it back to Sky Kasakia, and hard against the line. Eventually the ball finds its way out. For those of you not familiar with the venue, all the fans sit in the grandstand where we are filming from, the Moya Dodd stand here on campus at UNSW, the Village Green ground, and the benches are over on the opposite side, so we will get to look towards them when we see subs enter the game as the game goes on. Here's Christodoulou to Poppy Channing, over to Aya Yamahata, and the Japanese national plays it out to Leah Puxty at left back for UNSW. Making a run is Alexia Karastal. And it's a throw in here for the former Jet and Mariner, Puxty. Hoping for a big season at UNSW back in the NPLW level.
Yeah, UNSW do have quite a lot of ex-A-League players here, and I think they'll definitely be looking to prove themselves in this team.
And a tangle here from Puxty trying to defend from the front, and the free kick has been won by Charlotte Bradshaw. So a free kick for Western Sydney. Koulazakis makes an interception here for the home side. Little back heel, Lexi Moreno completes a 1-2, and now there's a run down the right from Kokoris. Jennifer Kokoris with a cross, some urgent defending. Well done by Gabilla to block the cross. And dived on there by Amy Hall. Wanderers still keen on playing out from the back, and they're working the right flank this time. Here's Keep, tucking it inside for Barker. Amy Barker caught in possession by a combination of Kasakia and also Milan Hammond. And Hammond is happy to knock the ball back to the centre of defence and reset. Poppy Channing, who's still training with Sydney FC. She's been a train on all summer for them, so a little part of the Sydney Derby rivalry here as she squares off against the Wanderers today. Christodoulou chases an errant touch and wins the ball. Now Kokoris. Back to Koulazakis, and Channing once more. Looking for a gap, Moreno not able to deflect it into the path of a teammate. 3 minutes gone, scoreless, but a pretty good tempo to start the game so far.
Yeah, it has been a good tempo. UNSW have been having some strong attacking intents in these first few minutes, but Wanderers have been able to hold strong, and they're just trying to get their foot on the ball here.
In the game immediately before this one, it looked like we were heading for a 0-0 draw. It was 0-0 in the 18s during the warmth of the afternoon, and then in the under-23s it looked like we were heading for something similar, but a very late goal for Wanderers meant they left with a 1-0 scoreline there. Of course, all those points important in the club championship, both in terms of winning that prize overall, but also avoiding relegation. Here's Karastal knocking the ball to Koulizakis. Moreno and Kashaba trying to drive forward for Western Sydney, but not much happening. Closed down in short order, and Koulizakis prevails with the ball. Kokoris. Aaron Naylor looking fit and ready to go at the start of a new season. The incredible signing for UNSW. Here's Milan Hammond trying to bustle forward. Hammond, a head check for what's on in the box and attracting the attention of two defenders. It will be the first corner of the game after Hammond's run there.
Yeah, that was a good run there from Hammond down the left side of the field here. I think what we saw from Wanderers there was a little bit of a lapse in defence. I think they need to cover her speed there on that side.
Milan Hammond, who's been so hit with injuries over the course of her young career in the A-League, briefly at Perth and Newcastle, and now in her first campaign at UNSW. So an early corner, Koulizakis to take. The wind has picked up a bit, favouring the end that the home side are attacking. Koulizakis into the near post, and it's volleyed away by Kashaba. Puxty brings the ball down. Second time ball from Koulizakis, looping on the breeze. Moreno trying to set herself for the header, and she got sandwiched between two defenders there. Physical stuff from the Wanderers, but no appeals for a penalty from Lexi Moreno as she gets back to her feet. I was hoping the wind wouldn't be a factor today, Emily, but we're both sitting in the grandstand here, and I guess the corner flags and the net occasionally billowing down at the right of screen. Hopefully it's not the third actor in this game, and both teams get a fairly good go at it.
Yeah, just as the sun is set, the wind has tended to pick up here, so it will be interesting to see how the players cope with that and whether it's going to have an effect on this game.
Amy Hall, one of the more senior members of this Wanderers team tonight, this youthful lineup. Hall getting a taste of the A-League at the end of last season. Here's Keep, looking for a through ball here, trying to meet the run of Stajcic, but the ball was intercepted. Yamahata coming across, breaks into midfield, there to be won. Caraberis committed to the ball and tries to find a path forward. Stajcic is going to arrive late, and it's picked up by Naylor. It's great to see Erin Naylor back just playing competitive football. She'd already moved to Sydney for work purposes, and the 84-cap New Zealand international who's been to World Cups and Olympics, now gracing the Village Green with her presence. What a coup for the NPL. Here's a long ball. Moreno is going to be first to it. Karastal calling for it in the middle. Moreno bides her time and now swings in a deep across, looking for Hammond. And Hammond got to the header, can't drive it goal bound, and then loops it over the shoulder out for a goal kick. But they moved at speed there, did UNSW.
Yeah, I think that's just the skill they have up in this front third. They've got a lot of skillful players that have obviously played with some A-League experience up in that top half, and I think Milan Hammond is someone that Wanderers are going to have to look out for. She's come out strong this first half.
Of course, we've spoken about some of the A-League connections that aren't playing in this game for Wanderers due to that team playing yesterday. I've just seen Ruby Betro and Hayley Muir, a couple of the players at the other end of the experience scale, a few of the Australia under-17 international contenders. No Mary Dalbroy either, so they'll have a very big squad that will all be vying for game time over the course of winter here. And these are names that, if you're watching this stream, you'll come to know them and come to learn them, whether they're playing for the Australia under-17s or this Wanderers NPL lineup. And they're all hoping to one day break into the A-League, and the big dream, to play for the Matildas. Who knows how many years away it might be, but you might see someone who's 16 or 17 now, and in 5 or 7 years' time, they might be pulling on the green and gold. Of course, UNSW, plenty of players with the eyes on this year's trophy, but many of them, if they have a good season, will be right in line to either break through for the first time or resume A-League careers. Here's Christodoulou. Koulizakis can't quite link up with Kokoris this time. And the Wanderers have an attacking half throw in. Caraberis. And pressure on Maya Khalil. Speaking of internationals, the capped Lebanon international, Maya Khalil. Ball down the right. Keep is going to show her speed here and take on Puxty. And Puxty made a challenge. Keep still chasing. Refused to give up on the ball. And that will be a good little duel if we keep seeing that through the course of the evening. On this occasion, the ball breaks out for a goal kick. Flick header on by Moreno. Look at Caristal. Read it beautifully. Alexia Caristal is going to burst again through the left side of the box. Twists in across and good hands from Amy Hall. Kokoris was making a run on the right, but it had to beat the keeper and a number of defenders. But that speed of UNSW, I know the synthetic pitch, they got the wind at their backs, but they look sharp tonight.
Yeah, in that you saw a lot of the Wanderers' defence bunching up, and UNSW had a lot of width across that front third, and I think it's going to be something that they're going to have to look out for.
Wanderers want to answer with a quick attack of their own. Keep with a pass. Gets the better of Stajic and finds its way to Channing. Now Kasakia. UNSW not able to counter on counter. Transitional game end to end. Not sure who it'll favour. Both teams have speedsters. Right now Caristal is really looking to make a mark. That pass she was hoping that Kokoris might be able to break onto. Instead, Gabilla back to Hall. Hall sweeps a pass. Kasakia, well, nearly outfoxed by Mia Natali, but she just couldn't keep the ball. And Caristal bossing the midfield at the moment. Kasakia. And now Moreno turning and facing, looking for Hammond. Good defending by the Wanderers to clear their lines. Puxty to Kulizakis. And that's good hustle there in midfield from Maya Khalil, not allowing Lexi Moreno to move any further forward, but all that work and ultimately only concedes a throw right on halfway to the home side in front of the benches. Soren Namovsky, the coach of UNSW, standing in the technical area at present. Grandstand is starting to fill up. Good to see a few kids on the rock climbing wall over on the outer side. Decided that they've got the perfect vantage point for tonight's game.
Yeah, definitely interesting choice of seating there, but I'm sure it's a great vantage point behind the benches.
You always learn a bit standing within earshot of an NPLW bench. It's not quite as rough and ready as an NPL men's game, but some of the instructions and some of the things that get said to the referee, and it's part of getting out and enjoying a game at a suburban ground like this where you can get really close to the action. Of course, this season's tagline for NPL New South Wales is real football homegrown. So a free kick here in the attacking half for Wanderers, and a chance to see what they can do with the set piece here. No time wasted. Caraberis bending it, and Naylor with a comfortable uncontested catch. Didn't really seem like any Wanderers were particularly targeted by that free kick. Here's Kokoris thinking about trying to take on Gabilla. Squeezed past her and did enough to convince the referee there was a foul. So well played by Kokoris. Channing goes backwards from the free kick. Naylor here. Wanderers, they're going to set up their press. They're advancing a few numbers up the pitch. Natali able to win the ball initially. UNSW scrambling back to try to cover. Great pass from Khalil. Barker at the edge of the box. Amy Barker on the left foot and hits the crossbar. First big chance for Western Sydney, and they've found the woodwork. And the press there very effectively executed to turn into a shot so close to the first goal of the game.
Yeah, I think you saw that set up by Khalil there. As you said, Lebanon international, and I think she's showing her skill there.
Attempted through ball from Caraberis Wanderers. It's almost like they've flicked the switch here and starting to show what they can do, building into the game. Koshaba leaves the ball with Natali and runs into Christodoulou. And the whistle does come. So well played, Christodoulou. Defended the ball well there. But it does feel like after perhaps sizing up UNSW for the first 15 minutes or so, Wanderers are getting a little bolder in the press. Channing goes for a long ball this time. Koshaba trying to turn it around the corner. Barton plays it to Gabilla. Chelsea Barton back to her goalkeeper. Heard the shout from Amy Hall. UNSW happy to stand almost at the edge of the midfield third here and watch the defenders knock the ball around. They're going to bypass the midfield here and try to push it wide, bouncing with one touch off keep out for a throw-in. Puxty, Kulizakis. Bending ball, Bradshaw. Not taking any risks, happy to concede a throw-in. Now Leah Puxty with the throw-in. Karastal battling for possession against Bradshaw. Kasakia touches it back to Puxty. Now Yamahata. Switching flanks over to Christodoulou. Kokoris. Christodoulou. Moreno trying to work between the lines. The return ball was sharp and blocked out. UNSW trying to find gaps there. And the assistant referee proving unpopular as the throw-in has gone against the home side. Tonight's assistants, Thomas Alders over on the outer side and James Chan on the side nearest to our cameras. Bradshaw sets Keep a task. Keep is quick, got to the ball, but couldn't quite control it. Puxty, now Hammond. Milan Hammond trying to roll away from Amy Barker and does so. Hammond breaking to the edge of the box, a sweeping cross. Moreno in the middle! And that should have been 1-0 to UNSW. Lexi Moreno with a big chance.
Yeah, that was a great chance there. They've just put it straight across the middle and there was just two players free in the box for UNSW. Western Sydney Wanderers haven't done too well marking there.
Well, it was a good cross from Milan Hammond. And on the left foot too, Milan Hammond's player I'm going to say not overly familiar with playing as a left winger, but she was able to show her two-footedness there with a really good ball into the box. And so that really should have been UNSW into the lead. We saw the crossbar hit earlier from Amy Barker, but maybe with a shot that Erin Naylor might have had covered if it was any lower. That one, though, that was pick your spot, and ultimately it flew over the crossbar. UNSW reload, shallow back pass, Karastal trying to capitalise, and Amy Hall is sharply off her line with a left-footed clearance. Straight to Yamahata. Moreno, loose touch, and that opens the door for Barker to take possession for Wanderers. Try to squeeze it over. Caraberis left it behind. The presence of Karastal. And a little clip of the heels here leads to a free kick. But in a league with so many teenagers, so many players at the start of their career, the veteran presence, she's in her mid-20s, the presence of Alexia Karastal in the prime years of her career really is something that a lot of teams would be envious of, because she's one of those players that really can run a game. And I'm surprised here to see a yellow card, but she's going to have to watch her step from this point forward as the first player to be booked tonight. Yeah,
I think, as you said, veteran, it's weird to call her that, but in this league, with this amount of youngsters, I think she's a veteran, and she has a lot to teach this team.
Just going to look back at the stream here. Do you think the foul was enough for a yellow card, Emily Arnold? Put your referee's hat on.
If I'm going to be honest, no, I probably wouldn't have given a yellow card for that, but that's why I'm not the ref, I guess.
So the treatment continues here, which is leading to Wanderers having run over to the sideline, and there's two little huddles for UNSW. I think the right side having a chat about what they're doing, and the rest of the team are clustered in the middle of the pitch. And so there's a bit of concern here for Caraberis. Just looking at the Wanderers bench, a few of the subs are on their feet and limbering up, but it doesn't look like one is being readied yet. But this would be an unwanted first change if they have to make it. So while this treatment is continuing, I did mention that this is the last of the games in round 2. We can take you around the grounds and give you updates on what else happened around NPL Women's New South Wales this afternoon. Big win for the defending champions, Bulls Academy. They were able to defeat the MacArthur Rams 2-1. Apia, the grand finalists and cup holders, they were able to enjoy a 2-0 win against Hills United. The second goal coming quite late, though. Western City Rangers, their first win since the name change from Mount Druitt Town. They enjoyed a 5-1 win against NWS Spirit. Sydney Uni, this is perhaps the talking point of the weekend, a 4-1 win away to the Gladesville Ravens, who are zipping 2. And in the 81st minute, it's Sydney Olympic 0, Manly United 0. So that game yet to give us a goal, just like this one after 20 minutes here. As I've given you the scores there, Emily, which one perhaps takes your interest the most of the various results around the leagues?
I think their Sydney Olympic has definitely intrigued me there. After last week, they put out a very strong performance. But this isn't looking too good here for Karen Bessis.
No, the trainer, and now we've had a member of the bench run out here to help her off, so this looks like it's going to be a forced change here for Frida Caraberis. A tap of the ankles. And the stream doesn't give us the best angle of the point of impact here, so it's actually quite hard on a second look to assess what the exact concern might be, whether it's a foot or an ankle injury, but hopefully one that's not going to have great significance here for the midfielder. And so just before a quarter of the way through this game, Western Sydney are going to have to make a substitution here, and we'll let you know who's coming on as soon as we get a look at the number. I suspect it might be Alyssa McKenzie based on who is walking back out from the sideline. No fourth official tonight, so bear with us as we do our best to do the head count and work out who's coming on.
Yeah, I think you are right there. It does look like Alyssa McKenzie.
And that might lead to a positional change as well. It seems as though Annabella Keep, who started this game over on the right side of midfield for Western Sydney, is going to head over to the left. And the number 11, Alyssa McKenzie, is the player that's come on here for Frida Caraberis. So that's the change. A forced sub for Frida Caraberis and a yellow card for Alexia Karastal. And we're back underway after that assessment for injury. And on comes McKenzie here. So, Wanderers, back in the groove. Quick 1-2 between Gabila and Kashaba, but the slide challenge from Kokoris puts it out for a throw. So Keep now in this new position over on the left side for Western Sydney. Closest to our cameras. Bradshaw. Well, brave run, but the pass intercepted, and now Hammond can counter. Mackenzie's first involvement, getting back to try to cover in defence. Khalil chasing as well. And Khalil with the crunching challenge. But a legal one as the ball rolls out for a throw-in. And now Milan Hammond is down with a heavy landing. And the trainer's being called again. So the start-stop nature of the game, ever since about the 15-minute mark, continues. And Milan Hammond, who's really had a cursed run with injuries over her young career, hopefully this is just winded from a heavy landing rather than something more.
Yeah, as you say, she's had quite a few significant injuries throughout her career, and it's definitely a player you never want to see go down. She's got some real talent, and it would be unfortunate for the league to see her go down injured.
And also because of the flying start that she's made in tonight's game. Had a brilliant cross to Moreno that could have been an assist. The entire UNSW bench are up, warming up. Looking at the substitutes potentially, Chloe Smith played almost a full game in the reserves earlier, as did Sonali Singh. They've got Georgia Plessis, who could potentially come on and play on the wing. So they've got some options. UNSW. And the trainer walking away with Hammond here, under her own steam, so hopefully that's a good indicator that she will be returning to the game. So a battle for possession between McKenzie and Koulizakis. And coming through, Barker takes the ball and is off and running for the Wanderers, trying to split the defence. Mia Natali running from deep here, and Erin Naylor out of her line, able to clear. Finds Moreno. Moreno's little layoff. Karis Stahl. Hammond's back on, so she's resumed her position over on the left wing, but the ball is on the right at present. Here goes Kokoris. Has to double back at the edge of the box, and Moreno with a sweeping shot. Never really threatened the goal of Amy Hall, but another flowing move from the home side.
Yeah, Moreno's had quite a few shots so far in the game. Not able to get them on target yet, but she's definitely looking threatening.
Lexi Moreno, definitely the centre forward of this team, with Koulizakis playing a bit deeper in midfield. We've seen Koulizakis be a prolific scorer in this league over the course of her career, playing as a pressing forward that leads the line with a lot of energy. Then you've got Kokoris on one wing, on the right, and Hammond over on the left. But it's very much Moreno at the point of the spear at the moment for UNSW. Scoreless here after 25 minutes. Long ball down the right. McKenzie, another speedster, is going to take on Puxty here. Puxty stays in position and then turns the ball down the line. It doesn't find its way out. Hammond back to challenge against Barker. And then Puxty down the line again. Barker able to come away with the ball. Lays it back to Khalil. And Bradshaw. Back to Barton. And the Wanderers reset on the halfway line. Lots of passes here from the Wanderers, but not much forward progress. Now it's Amy Hall, the keeper's turn. She's trying to force something here onto the head of Christodoulou. Kokoris waited for the ball to run on. Tried to meet Karis Stahl. Keep, well defended. Now Natali. Khalil finds Barker in midfield. Can distribute out to the right. And the run from McKenzie, a good one. Here's Alyssa McKenzie, blazing to the edge of the box. Sends in a cross. And perhaps a little excitedly puts it over all and sundry inside the penalty area. But good movement from the Wanderers there as they linked up, breaking from left to right.
Yeah, good movement there, but they just didn't have anyone coming in at the far post there, which is where the ball was put by McKenzie there. But it's promising signs.
So totally reliant on the artificial light now at the Village Green. 7:36 local time for those of you watching interstate or overseas. As Naylor takes the goal kick. Puxty with a little flick on. It'll almost make its way to the halfway line. Mackenzie's throw in. Stajic not able to leave with the ball. Yamahata. And now Kasakia loops it over the shoulder. Rears up off the synthetic. Koulizakis. Battle for possession continues. Kasakia back in. Barker prevails. That's good control from Barker there, and now looks for the right pass. Has to concede some ground to Bradshaw. Here's Keep. Looks up at two pressing UNSW players, and Karis Stahl is able to intercept the pass. Alexia Karis Stahl threads it through the right. Kokoris can't quite run it down. And it's going long. But we did mention about 10 minutes ago that UNSW weren't pressing too high, but when Keep was in possession there at the edge of that midfield third, takes possession, looks up, and it's two players pressing her straight away, and that led to the giveaway.
Yeah, I think maybe it's something that UNSW have picked up throughout the game, something they've picked up from how the Wanderers are playing, but it definitely worked with Caristyle winning that in the midfield and creating a good chance.
So you see again here, UNSW trying to close all the passing avenues, and out steps Channing with a good interception. Caristyle has to concede a little ground to Christodoulou here. Playing it through the lines, Caristyle back to Kokoris. Now Kasakia. Christodoulou, who started the move. And Kokoris on the overlap. Christodoulou hits the wing, and the first time cross behind for a corner kick. And so a set-piece opportunity. There was a very early corner in the game for UNSW, but we haven't seen one for the home side since, down at the southern end of the ground. And Demi Koulizakis appears to be on corner duty from both sides of the pitch tonight. So, right on half an hour, Koulizakis with UNSW's second corner of the game. High to the far post. Oh, first header Moreno, but it's not on target. It kept sliding, and through comes Khalil. First to take possession on the outer side. Tried to knock it to her own advantage, and then Puxty caught in possession. McKenzie trying to turn it around the corner. But UNSW win the ball back. Tumbling run forward from Caristyle was halted. Barker, little sidestep, was able to get out of any traffic in midfield. Now Keep a little apprehensive. Back to Barton. Able to spot Gabilla in midfield. And now a ball over the top. Christodoulou with the header down. Gabilla braced for impact against Koulizakis, and Koulizakis now drives the ball out to the right. Here goes Kokoris. Jennifer Kokoris. Christodoulou is going to cross from deep. It's a little narrow, though, straight at the goalkeeper in the end, and catching practice for Amy Hall.
Yeah, an easy one there for Amy Hall. Unfortunately, after that build-up for UNSW, it does look like they're getting closer and closer to that goal. As we said, they had a lot of control in the first few minutes, and they're definitely starting to gain it back here. I
have a stunning score update from around the grounds. Manly United have gone bang, 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 82, 88, 89, and are now 3-0 up away to Sydney Olympic. That is incredible. 3 goals in the space of 7 minutes has decided that one, and it's going to be a big away win for Manly United after the late show. Be fascinated to watch that one back on the stream at halftime, maybe, as to how they did it. Yeah, for sure, especially Sydney Olympic coming off a 6-1 win last week. They were definitely the team to look out for, and Manly have clearly taken it to them there. So Manly were coming off a 1-1 draw and against MacArthur Rams, so they're on track for a first win of the season. Ball at the edge of the box here, McKenzie, just a heavy touch. Yamahata came through. Caristyle looking to drive in the other direction. Calls for the return pass from Kokoris, and across came Barton with a good challenge to halt the forward progress of Caristyle. And the throw-in will go the home side's way this time. Moreno. Not able to flick it to a teammate. Keep. Hall. Now Annabella Keep. Looking to drive forward. Has Koshaba wide on the left. Pass into the midfield, hoping for Mia Natali. Yamahata nearly left the ball behind. And then a little tap of the ankles for her trouble there. But it's not often you see Aya Yamahata miscontrol a ball like that. Normally a supreme technician. And she just left the door open, and in her eagerness to try and win the ball back, Mia Natali fouled it. Yeah, that was an unusual one there from Yamahata.
But yeah, unfortunate from Natalia there. I think she did have the power to win that back, and unfortunate to give away the foul.
Here's Channing. Stajic is just going to press this all the way back to the keeper. Keep Erin Naylor honest, but the goalie's got a cool head there, and so does Yamahata, and the ball is back with Channing. Channing was Kokoris onside. It's Jennifer Kokoris here taking on Alvina Kashaba, and Kokoris puts a cross to the edge of the 6-yard box where Bradshaw closes things down. Kulizakis following back up with a long speculative attempt, and even though it had a couple in the crowd oohing and ahhing, it just kept bending wide.
Yeah, it was quite the powerful shot there from a fair while out, but yeah, it was always going wide of the goal there.
So no shortage of attacking intent from both teams, but we're down to 10 minutes of regulation to go in this scoreless first half between UNSW and the Western Sydney Wanderers. Wanderers patiently trying to find a way forward. Barker stood on the ball, just created a window of opportunity for the press here. Kasakia herring after it, but can't end up affecting the play. Barker now driving Wanderers out to the right. McKenzie has possession against Puxty here. McKenzie looking for a burst of acceleration. Puxty trying to stick with her. The cross onto the head of Mia Natali. And it's a brilliant header to make it 1-0 for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Well, the speed of Alyssa McKenzie out on the wing was excellent, and the cross met perfectly by Mia Natali. The futsal international shows what she can do with her head and makes it 1-0 to the Western Sydney Wanderers. They take the lead.
Yeah, as you said, that was set up by the early sub in that half, Alyssa McKenzie, and an excellent header there from Mia Natali. Mackenzie's just been able to get around her defender there, and Natali's just slotted that just over Naylor there. An excellent team goal there from Wanderers. We've seen a few of those crosses in this half, and it's finally paid off there.
Well, what a thrilling move there from Western Sydney. It's almost like they've used some of UNSW's best football against them, because so often we saw either Kokoris or Hammond breaking down the wing, putting the ball into the middle, but Wanderers have executed with a real touch of quality there. And now UNSW finding themselves behind at home, plenty of time until the halftime break, and they will be chasing the game here. You can see the disappointment from the UNSW defenders as they conceded that goal, and now the goal scorer, Natali, able to shark that pass and tries to turn it in the other direction, but it's been seized upon by Channing. Back to Naylor. Well, I think we're going to learn a bit about UNSW tonight now, aren't we? The challenge of going behind and see what they're like chasing an equalizer here. Plenty of time to go in the game.
Yeah, I think UNSW is a team that had a lot of talk about them coming into the season. They've got some amazing players, and they're definitely players that are going to know how to win a game back.
Look at this. Puxty is trying to return serve down at the other end, breaking into the attacking half, and she's able to win a corner. Puxty will be still burning that McKenzie was able to get that cross into the box. So good to see her hitting back and winning a corner the other way. And again, the wind has picked up just a little. The corner flags, well, they've made a liar out of me, because the one next to Kulizakis down there on the opposite side to where we're broadcasting from is totally dormant, but it's quite swirly in the grandstand, I can tell you that at least. Big pack of players standing on the goal line here. Kulizakis in swinging corner, batted down by Hall, back out to the corner taker. Kulizakis, second ball in, and too close to the goalkeeper with both of them, and Amy Hall continues to show good hands tonight. Has been able to take the sting out of a number of situations.
Yeah, I think Amy Hall has acted as an experienced head here tonight for this young team. She does have one or two A-League women's caps, but she's a great keeper, and she has a lot of experience in the NPL New South Wales.
And she would have been just chomping at the bit to get the NPL back, because, of course, with Bree Edwards joining Wanderers for the A-League this season. She hasn't been on the bench anymore. It's been Sham Karmas and Bree Edwards as the 1 and 2 for Wanderers A-League all season, meaning that Amy Hall is back as the number 1 in the NPL.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit of an unfortunate one there because she did play some pretty good games when she got the chance in the A-League Women's. But I think this will give her the chance to prove herself and make that option to be a bench player for the A-League Women's.
Of course, originally from the Illawarra Stingrays. Here's Hall on the ball now. Don't want the commentator's curse to strike when she's in possession, but she finds Barton comfortably enough here. And now out to the right side of defence. Attempted long ball up the line. Puxty makes the interception, driving it back. It's been shut down immediately by Bradshaw. Barker, ball pinging around in midfield as Khalil puts it over the top. Mackenzie, 1 assist already, able to burst past Yamahata, squares it here, and it beats the lunge of Gabilla. Another good run from Mackenzie. Natali recycles the ball over on the left. Kashaba. And Alvina Kashaba able to escape all the players that were desperately trying to get the ball away, and then a sliced left-footed attempt from Barker. And that goes down as a shot on target, even though it wasn't moving too rapidly. Just an easy catch for Erin Naylor in the end, but that's 2 shots there for Barker. 1 saved and 1 into the crossbar in this half.
Yeah, I think that was set up by Alyssa Mackenzie again. First half sub for the injured Karen Bassis. But she's been good since she's come on, and she's proved hard for UNSW to handle on that far side.
Well, it also set off quite a domino effect of positional changes because Madison Gabilla went into central midfield, Annabella Keep went to left back, and Alyssa Mackenzie's gone over to the right side. And of course the departure of Caraberis with a foot or an ankle injury is what's prompted it, and it goes to show the ability to adjust on the run of the Western Sydney Wanderers, that it's worked seamlessly so far. Here's Puxty with the ball. Hammond. Bradshaw went to ground, and that opens the door for Hammond to burst pass. A low-driven cross, cleared by Barton. The follow-up here, Puxty takes possession. Caristal, edge of the box, tempted to shoot, lays it off instead. Kasakia catches a big deflection. Puxty to the line, and it'll be another corner kick. It was Mackenzie there with Puxty and putting it behind. UNSW, they're upping the tempo here. They're chasing this equalizer. They don't want to go into the rooms 1-0 down.
Yeah, I think Mackenzie against Puxty there is a great battle that we've seen throughout the whole pitch now, down in the Wanderers' defensive area.
Kulizakis stays on corner taking duties. Kulizakis drifted to the penalty spot. Yamahata's header. Lots of players to try to beat, though. Hooked away initially, and now over the top. Well, that one dipped late from Alexia Caristal. Didn't get a touch from the keeper. It just went over the crossbar and brushed the roof of the net on its way out for a goal kick, but it looked spectacular.
Yeah, it did look like an excellent shot. Alexia Caristal there, going for 2 goals in 2 games.
That was really a speculative volley, wasn't it? But maybe as we look back on the stream, maybe I've hammed it up a little bit. It didn't look quite as close as it did to the naked eye here. Anyway, that's the fun of being here at the ground in person. The chances do look like they're more likely to score than they do on the stream when we get them back 20 seconds later. But we hope you are enjoying the coverage. Through ball here, Kashaba, Stajic. Oh, flag stays down. It's in the net, but it won't count. Annika Stajic straying offside. Good finish against the oncoming Naylor, but the flag and the whistle sounded pretty quickly there.
Yeah, just made that run a little bit too early there, Stajic.
It'll be hard to tell from our stream here because we don't have a full picture, but even to the naked eye, she was seemingly a metre or 2 advanced on Yamahata, and I'm not sure there were too many other defenders that were any further towards the target. Kashaba. Wanderers finishing the half strong. UNSW, they're the ones with 2 minutes plus stoppage until the break here. Kokoris able to hold off Gabilla. Back to Christodoulou. Kokoris. Oh, slides the pass just beyond the touch of Christodoulou, and Keep was able to intercept. Natali. Keep. Oh, a bit of a pass into midfield, a hopeful ball that was there to be won. And then came Christodoulou. Channing back to Yamahata into the final minute of regulation at the end of the first half at the Village Green. Kasakia not able to force the ball forward. Kashaba. And now Khalil. Mackenzie lays it back. Bradshaw. Khalil again. Mackenzie caught by Puxty. Puxty fouled. Able to break forward with real energy there and just got tagged for a trouble. Taking the ground. So Leah Puxty takes the free kick. Kulizakis makes a good run here. Managed to turn the Wanderers defenders around. Kokoris lays it off and just shoveled it past Moreno. I wonder if Kokoris might have fancied a flying attempt of her own there. But the moment is past. Yamahata as we tick into first half stoppage time. No fourth official, so it's all on the judgment of the central referee. Keep. Now Khalil. Have Wanderers done enough to steer this 1-0 advantage to half-time? We've only played 30 additional seconds at the end of the first half. Barker. Good close control from Barker, trying to find her favoured left foot. It's been intercepted by Kulizakis. Bradshaw. Back to Amy Barker. And Khalil. Oh, Wanderers owning the ball here. Easiest way to prevent an equaliser before half-time is to have UNSW chasing shadows. Barton, back to Keep. One additional minute ticked by. Referee not looking at the watch just yet. Through comes Kasakia. Is this UNSW's moment? Plays it to Hammond. Wanderers getting back in numbers though. Hammond to Karastal. Karastal switches to Christodoulou. Kashaba has a little nibble. And that's enough to invite Keep in, who plays it safe, out for a throw-in. UNSW, they're hurrying because they know that time's their enemy here. Moreno. Back out to the wing. Kokoris, aggressive first touch, but has two defenders to contend with, and through comes Annabella Keep. And she turns and... well, that ball's going to have backspin on it to keep it in here. It's not dealt with just yet. Kashaba. Christodoulou challenging. Natali gets back to help out. And there's a free kick here, deep in attack. Well, the halftime whistle just won't come for the Wanderers here. And now UNSW have a big set piece.
Yeah, we had an interesting one there where the ball was just able to stay in. Wanderers clearly wanted it to go out, and they just haven't been able to deal with that.
Well, this would be a big finish to the first half here. Alexia Moreno and Alexia Karastal standing over this set piece. It's about 3 metres in from where you'd take a corner. 2 in the wall. Aya Yamahata has gone forward. She's planted herself at the edge of the 6-yard box. So this might be the last act of the half. Moreno sliding it on target. Hall bats it down and it's in. Aya Yamahata sliding in. And UNSW have willed in an equaliser. 2 minutes and 50 seconds into first half stoppage time. It's 1-1 at the Village Green.
Yeah, that was just a little bit of a scramble in the box there, I believe. And we've just had Yamaha.
I think it's got to be Yamahata's goal.
Yeah, Yamahata has just scrambled there to put it in the back of the net. Oh. After a few rebounds there.
Well, Amy Hall appeared to get first hands on it, batted it down, and I think it fell to the feet of Barton. And you'd almost say it's a slide tackle goal.
Yeah, it does seem like that. As for here, not too sure what's happening here. It looks like we're having an issue with the jersey.
Well, I'm surprised the whistle hasn't gone for half-time, because we have now ticked to 3 minutes and 40 seconds of stoppage at the end of this first half. I can't remember. I mean, there was the injury for Freddie Caraberas, but I don't think that ate up 4 minutes of additional time. I think Wanderers perhaps asking the referee how much longer here.
Yeah, definitely not one that Wanderers are going to want to concede going into the half. As for UNSW, they'll feel like the better side going into this half, just scored a goal.
So, 1-1 the scoreline. We're giving it to Yamahata for now. I'll wait and see what the referee's report says at full time, because there were so many people around the ball. And still we play. Mackenzie. Gabilla. Kokoris won possession, but goes back to Channing. Channing goes back to Naylor. Now Yamahata. Long ball, and the runners break, but Bradshaw is able to turn it back in Wanderers' favour. Khalil. Barker will advance onto the ball here, Amy Barker, and tries to drive it to Stajic from the wing. Annika Stajic, a deflected cross. Channing's clearance does find a teammate in Yamahata, through with energy. Leaping Mackenzie, but Hammond is able to win the ball. Now Moreno holding it up here. Feeds it back inside. Puxty. And as it keeps running, looks like a free kick for late contact on a UNSW player. So they're going to have an opportunity to drive it forward here. 5.5 minutes of first half stoppage time played at the Village Green. Concentration being tested at the end of a long first half. Channing. And the goalkeeper's coming here, and coming with authority. You heard the voice coming out of the penalty area from Amy Hall, calling off Alvina Kashaba and diving in to collect.
Yeah, a strong presence at the back there for Western Sydney Wanderers. A good player to have on the pitch.
Well, we tick into a 7th minute of first half stoppage time. And the whistle goes. So 6 minutes was the allocation at the end of the first half, and that 6 minutes was enough for UNSW to grab an equaliser. An excellent headed goal from Mia Natali put Western Sydney Wanderers into the lead. However, Aya Yamahata, in a penalty area scramble after Alexi Moreno free kick, has brought the game level. Half-time at the Village Green. It's University of New South Wales 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 1. Emily Arnold, the final say, please, on what you've observed in this first half.
I think it was a good competitive half. I think going into the sheds at half-time, you're going to have UNSW are going to be on a high after scoring a goal, and Wanderers are going to be left wondering what to do a little bit after conceding that in stoppage time.
Lots of talking points and plenty of action still to come. You're watching on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time with second half action. That half-time score, UNSW 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 1.
Yeah, no, I will.
Well done. Do you want to do a bubble rush? Good game. I'll tell you what, me and Natalie had absolutely nothing until Sunday. So I'm glad I got her number. She popped up completely unexpectedly. watching the goals back from Olympic and Manly.
Yeah.
The first one was soft down, to be honest. This is the venue they're playing, as I said, more Fedmore is being redeveloped. So this challenge here, I don't know.
Okay.
It's not really playing football, if you ask me. So this is the bad end too, because when you see the other end, it's not on centre. You see it's, yeah, now look, hey, there are worse.
Okay.
North Taramara is worse than that. So,
Yeah, I'm going back.
How it was still all that long.
Yeah, like the fence.
Maybe 6 years so. Let's really go nice and slow and see if we can find out who.
Keeper, then Barhan, Yamahata slides in. Yeah, that's hers for sure.
I was just like,
Yeah.
that's hanging on.
At an NPL level, the hardest goals you will try to commentate are set pieces in impacts of players, but especially ones where if they celebrate, funnily enough, if they celebrate with this side, and then obviously don't show you the number, so you need to know the facts. Like one of the worst ones I can remember was South Melbourne played Hobart Olympia in a NPL national finals. So obviously I've been covering the Melbourne teams all season. I don't know the first thing about Hobart Olympia. They get a free kick in the third minute, headers in, and they all come, they run towards the camera to celebrate. None of them turn around. None of them had numbers on the front. None of them had numbers on the shorts. And I had to wait, almost a minute until the guy turned around. Because I just didn't know his face.
Yeah, it's like, I have no idea.
And in that situation, you never guess, you just pad and pad and pad until you're certain, and then once you're certain, you say the goal scorer's name. But the worst thing you can ever do is guess, even if it means having to wait, or you just never say the scorer's name and have to wait for the minute off the screen. As long as you don't guess, you can't be wrong. But yeah, generally that's one rule. Don't guess, wait until you're certain who's scored. Who are you on the roster with next? Or have you not got any roster after?
I'm with Annabelle.
Okay. You have to use them going third, right? But you met her at the commentary night?
Yes, I have met her.
Annabelle's awesome. She's really cool.
She was so lovely. Yes. She's like, oh yeah. Like, okay, this is really nice.
I mean, I'm sure she'll have, because she's obviously a lot younger than you, but also early in her career. I'm sure she'll have a whole bunch of different ways that she does things. But because she's, only 2 years in, a lot of them you'll be able to see and go, all right, well, here's what she was doing, pick up
1 to game 10 to game 20, and you can start adopting simple things. It's nice here, isn't it? It's got that feeling, even though the crowd's not massive, it's got the basketball courts going. It's got that feeling, it feels very, nothing worse than a ground that feels a bit sore and sorry, and it's literally only the players and no one else,
Definitely nice that was last weekend. That was really bad.
Well, but actually, so the crowd, there's not games going on the other pitches.
There were games on the other pitch, but I mean, it was
they do feel a long way away.
Everyone was I think.
Were you at least having to get a parking spot in like the nearest car park, or did you have to park up on the hill?
I got a parking spot right nearby, but that's what. I'm doing with Eric. He goes, come early just in case you're driving around for a while.
Well, it's funny because I went to so when I was here with Annabelle for the men's game in round 2, I went up the hill to Will Street. So you've got the car park, which is the uni car park, but there's very few guest spots. As soon as the guest spots are full, you run the risk of getting fined if you park in a residential, urban spot. So we went up the hill to the first residential street, but when I got here, I drove up that street just to have a look, and it was already totally full of cars. So I'm like, all right, well, I looped back around, and I went 2 stops up the light rail, because the light rail stop is just out there. So 2 stops, and then it was back near the round. Thankfully, this is the hardest ground by a mile to get a park. Oh, actually. They don't play it because NPL, so you won't have to worry. But Seagull Shore, Sutherland's ground, that one's a pain in the ass as well.
That's what
well, actually, Lambert Park's not great, but I tend to get to Lambert Park so early that
I'm at Lambert Park next week.
Well, the good thing about Lambert is there are lots of side streets, and if you get there, you're just going to get there early enough. Like, you could get, sometimes you just win the lottery, and someone has just left, and you can come in. And sometimes you'll just get the perfect parking spot right outside the front gate, just with someone just pulled out and left. But there's a lot of side streets. It's just making a choice of which one you go.
That's what I was saying.
Whereas here, there's actually not that many side streets, and the ones out here, it's 2 hours parking, but it's 2 hours until 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So if the game's kicking off at 5, well, that's no good.
Yeah. Yeah, I parked in the car park. I drove in. I was like, I don't know.
Did you go to a guest level, or did you park on a private level?
Visitor.
Visitor? Okay, well, you got lucky.
Yeah, I was looking and I'm just like, I'm trying to read it. I was like, what the hell?
When I ran, I don't know if you heard from the Gambit week I was on, but I mentioned in the men's, when I was here, I drove up every level of that car park and then drove back out before leaving. And I saw the full official for the men's game, and I said, did you have a guest spot? He goes, no, I'm just going to take it.
That's what I will say. I think I was going to risk it for going at my uni. I go to Macquarie and I'm going, we risk it all the time. We're just like, we'll see.
Well,
but
I was here for a women's game last season, and I parked in a clearly marked no parking. I just went to the planet and I said, thought I'd take the risk, and then I came back and I had a big A4 sticker on the window saying your license plate is on file and you'll be towed next time.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm super careful when I come
Yeah,
here
where
now.
you're just like...
Because obviously if I do the wrong thing here, they'll cross-check it against their record
Yeah, they'll
and
go...
say, well, no more warnings.
Yes, you got that first time to do something.
I learned my lesson, I guess you could say.
Yeah. But yeah, I was definitely looking at that going, I've not been to half of these grounds, I do not know what the parking is going to be like.
Well, you'll just ask the entry group. They've been to all of them many a time. So to be honest, I tend to avoid ones with no shelter. Because obviously I can't sit up here. Like in NTRA, when you're exposed to the elements, I don't want to have to hold an umbrella over my mixer for the those games will also be available quite a bit because they're on Saturday and they clash with men's. You know, when the weather turns, those games will, you know, probably be the toughest ones to get people on. Hey, who knows? If well, no, I think it's really more if I can find a way to weatherproof my gear, I would do it. Even Lakeville, the ground they were playing at last season, even though it's on a balcony, there's no roof on it. So if the rain comes in, you still get it. It's the ground that both Batesville and Wolves Academy were using last season. Well, that's as soon as the referees get on. Welcome back to live pictures from the Village Green. It's round 2 of Football New South Wales NPL Women's. And in this senior match at halftime, it's UNSW 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 1. Late equaliser at the end of the first half from Aya Yamahata, bringing UNSW level after the opening goal from Mia Natali for the visiting team. UNSW to kick off attacking the left of your screens in the second half. We'll get to the forced change, the yellow card, and the state of the game as soon as we get the action back underway. But our referee, Jerry Beatas, is ready to get the action restarted here in this final game of round 2. So that whistle gets us back underway. It's 1-1 between UNSW and Western Sydney Wanderers. Teo Pellizzeri and Emily Arnold with you for this one, as we see Poppy Channing play an early pass to Sky Kasakia, out to Angelique Christodoulou, and on a weaving run down the right, Lexi Moreno takes possession and waits for Christodoulou to advance. Can't find any further forward progress though, has to concede a little bit of territory back to Channing, who's going to switch into the midfield. So yellow card, the only player on a booking in the game is Alexia Karastal, and it was from that incident that Frida Caraberis was subbed off in the first half, and Alyssa McKenzie subbed on. And then McKenzie is chasing Leah Puxty right here as Puxty turns towards the line and wins an early corner. And Emily Arnold, as I welcome you back to the broadcast, we're hoping for more goals here in the second half at the Village Green.
Thank you, Teo. Yeah, we're definitely looking for more goals here. I feel both teams are going to go out to win this. And as you said, early corner here. That battle resuming between Mackenzie and Puxty right after kickoff there.
So an early corner, and after scoring in the 3rd minute of first half stoppage time, could they score now, UNSW, in the 2nd minute of the second half? Here comes the corner from Karastal. First header is Kulazakis, and then half volleyed away by Bradshaw. Kulazakis first to the fall, trying to turn right, and a deflected cross takes it out for a corner on the opposite side as UNSW attack the northern end of the Village Green here in the second half. Beautiful warm night, a little bit breezy, but it hasn't affected the game. And we are under now the artificial light, 8:20 local time, if you're watching this from interstate or overseas on Football New South Wales YouTube. So consecutive corners right at the start of the second half. Kulazakis takes a run up, and Channing rises highest to the header, pops up and slides through the penalty area. Khalil clears, and the ball will land and find its way out. So Mackenzie was the only change to the starting 11s. Looking around the pitch, UNSW haven't turned to their bench just yet. Here's Annabella Keep. Interestingly, has started the second half at right back. So she did finish the first half over on the left, nearest to our camera, but she stayed on the opposite side of the ground to the benches here in the second half. Here go Wanderers down the left flank, and their goal scorer, Mia Natali, takes possession here, watches the runners break, plays the pass, hoping for Amy Barker, and across came Yamahata to clear. The ball stays in, trying to roll away there was Kokoris, couldn't take the ball with her though. Khalil keeping things ticking over in midfield. Keep to Mackenzie. Annabella Keep, who was in the senior team at the Illawarra Stingrays last season. Now a back pass from Puxty down to Erin Naylor, the goalkeeper. Naylor quickly switching flanks. Kokoris has got to work hard against the line. Plays it back to Christodoulou. And a little bit too much attention leads to a free kick down at right back as UNSW see it. Coming through to take the free kick is Channing. Oh, foot has been left in here on Khalil. I think the referee's given advantage. Barton playing it out to the right. Kasakia, big block tackle coming in from Mackenzie. Well done by Mackenzie against Kasakia. Keep, now Stajic, and Yamahata wearing her closely, knocking the ball away. Keep into the middle, Bradshaw, and Madison Gabilla. Barton to Gabilla. Neat little passing triangle from Wanderers. However, the pass from Stajic here a little shallow, and Kasakia wins the ball back. But little moments like that, you can just see that a lot of these players would have been train-ons with the A-League women's team over summer. They've probably had quite an organised pre-season, and you can just see how they want to play unfolding in front of us.
Yeah, I think you can see those connections that have formed with the Wanderers. They're clearly one of the teams that have probably had a bit of a longer pre-season and been together a little bit longer than some of these other teams. As that one there has just been called up for a free kick.
Yeah, it looks like a handball perhaps against Gabilla as the ball bounced up off the synthetic. So 5 minutes into the second half, no change to the halftime score. Here's Poppy Channing. Out to the right, Jennifer Kokoris. And now Kara Stahl, quick to turn. Christodoulou coming up the right, the pass back. Barker gets involved and wins the ball away for Western Sydney. Gabilla. Oh, muscled there by Milan Hammond, who was backtracking. But the ball is going to run on, and it's going to run on in Wanderers' favour. Look at Hammond. She's having an inspired minute here, is Milan Hammond. Tries to take on Khalil, maybe took on a little bit too much, and that's well played by Maya Khalil to immediately win the ball back. Back pass here, a little shallow. Hall's got to go. Moreno in the vicinity. Not the finest moment for Wanderers there, but they untangle themselves and get away without conceding a shot on goal. Now the ball down the left, and Channing against Natali, putting it out for a throw-in. Bouncing throw-in to the advantage of Alexia Karastal, weaving through midfield. Karastal sees Hammond ducking back in behind the defensive line, but good defending from Barton. And now Amy Barker, very good close control, Amy Barker. We saw her make her A-League women's debut at McKellar Park against Canterbury United in the last game before the Asian Cup break. Finding herself back in the NPLW tonight. As we see passes sling back and forth in midfield. Karastal, Kasakia, Moreno. Now on the right side of midfield here. Forward goes Kokoris, looking for the run of Kasakia, and it's been watched out for a goal kick. So up-tempo, first 7.5 minutes of the second half, but yet to have a meaningful shot on either goal. Natali brings the ball down and immediately engaged by Channing. Knocked back to Barker. Channing again. Good challenge from the defender. Spilled the ball to the advantage of Karastal, who wants to turn and face. Maya Khalil comes in. Look at the duels going on between the midfielders out there at the moment. Christodoulou. And now Moreno. Pass asking a little bit too much of Christodoulou here, and it will be ushered over the line for another goal kick. Short goal kick and then cleared by Amy Hall. It's a good pass too. Kashaba gets into a tangle here. Well played, Kokoris. Back to Christodoulou. Moreno over the top down the right flank. And across comes Barton, just to cut off the angles, and did enough to prevent a cross being turned back into the box. Jennifer Kokoris taking the game on there. UNSW, they're just shading it at the moment. They're certainly winning the territory battle, most of the game taking place in their attacking half, but they are, again, yet to turn it into shots on goal.
The ref just hasn't been too happy with that goal kick there, instructing them to take it again. A little bit of an interesting one there.
I think the ball might have been rolling when they took the first one, so had to make sure they stopped the ball and then could restart. Clearance here from Naylor. It's going to deflect off Stajic. Just a brief window of opportunity for the Wanderers. Barker. Gabilla. Now finds Stajic. Thinking about shooting from distance. Plays it to Mackenzie instead. A tangle of legs in the penalty area. Wanderers fans who've travelled are hoping for a penalty call, but they don't get one. Well, it looks spectacular, but the referee's right on the scene. Wanderers will go again. Gabilla stops and props. Now a little back heel. Really clever. Mackenzie puts up the cross. Natali was the target again in the middle. This time Channing wins the header away. Good defending from Poppy Channing. And UNSW look to build from defensive midfield. We'll have a look back at that penalty on the stream at the next break in play and get the verdict of Emily Arnold, who will have the advantage of a referee, of a replay, which the referee did not have. But here's Hall now going for distance. That's going to beat everyone, and it's going to run on here. Yamahata getting back quickly. Natali with a little touch inside. Showed a bit too much of the ball to Channing, and now Channing slows everything down and extracts the ball away. Referee gives advantage, so she was fouled in doing so, and UNSW emerge with the ball. Kokoris down the right side. Cuts it in. Koulazakis. Back out to the right. Can Moreno make ground? Blocks the attempted clearance, and it's out for a goal kick. So, that penalty shout a moment ago, it was Poppy Channing and Alyssa Mackenzie. I actually think Channing gets to the ball first, and thus the tangle of legs looks quite spectacular. Em, having had a look back, how did you see it?
Yeah, I think with that one, the refs obviously had a good look at it and decided that. I think that leg is planted by the time Mackenzie gets there, and I think she should have been able to anticipate that. So I think, yeah, it's definitely not a penalty from my point of view, but definitely worth the shout. I think you're never going to know if you don't ask for it.
Good little pocket of fans. Made a bit of noise too, trying to convince the referee not to be. Ticking up to the hour mark, aren't we about to see a flurry of activity? Both teams have got their subs warming up. The benches have been vacated. Stajic, Mackenzie, Return ball here. Annika Stajic, a quick head check, and now plays the early ball. Gabilla advancing. Naylor comes out of her line. It's Gabilla, cuts it across. Natali pops it back. Mackenzie foiled by a great save. Erin Naylor claws it away. Alyssa McKenzie nearly had a goal, and instead Erin Naylor with a top stop. And you can't help but wonder if it was one pass too many there from the Wanderers.
Yeah, it did seem to be a lot of passing there. A little bit of an interception there from Kulizakis, I think, did just put them off a bit. But I think Naylor there just shows you her great quality there. This is why she's got so many caps with the New Zealand Ferns. An absolutely great signing for UNSW.
Really good save. And having had a look back, yeah, I think you're right to credit the backtracking UNSW players, because Mia Natali could have blazed away with a defender on the line, instead cut it back for one more pass. And then Mackenzie, it was her close range attempt that was parried, and then it's been scrambled behind for this resulting corner kick. High into the box, Naylor's up. Naylor with a very comfortable catch, and so UNSW shut down the danger. But Wanderers again showing what they can do.
Yeah, Wanderers are definitely coming out looking for that goal, but I think against this side with such an experienced international goalkeeper, they are going to have to come up with something special to put it past her.
Well, that's what they had in the first half. It was a really good goal that gave them a 1-0 lead, short-lived as it may have been. Now UNSW are trying to complete the comeback here. Kulizakis. Channing. Christodoulou. Angelique Christodoulou. Popped into the box. Caristal goes to ground under the challenge of Keep. Might have been outside the area. The referee didn't see a free kick. Moreno on the diagonal. Puxty volleying it back and then cleared by Barton. Yamahata. Here's Channing. Stajic. Clipped here. Able to draw a free kick. Is the referee going to think about a second card? Angelique Christodoulou's got the captain's armband on, so has a quick word to the central referee, but no thoughts of a second yellow being shown in this game. Alexia Caristal in the first half, the only player with a card. Ticked past 60 minutes now, so no one standing down at the halfway line just yet. Both teams waiting with the 11s they've got out there on the pitch.
Yeah, I think both 11s that are out on the pitch are looking very strong. Obviously, Wanderers did have that early sub that was forced with the injury to Karen Bassis, but otherwise they're looking strong, and both teams looking confident.
Stajic hard against the line, runs out of space, throw in. Taken quickly here, Kulizakis. Oh, the return ball finds its way out. So an attacking half throw in, almost level with the penalty area here for the Wanderers.
Yeah, an interesting one there. Just not on the same page there, and they've set up something dangerous for Wanderers.
Now they're trying to break through the left side of the box. Kulizakis keen to make amends. It's just a little lapse in concentration there, and Wanderers not able to find anything as we see a response here. What a run from Caristal, bustling forward. Puxty trying to match the speed. Mackenzie, and a sprint for a ball that runs away from everyone. And the referee does pay a corner. So great run from Alexia Caristal, breaking through the lines. And she's done that on a few occasions in this game, just to flip the field.
Yeah, I think that's just a credit to her skill and ability there. She is a player that can carry the ball, and we've seen it quite a few times in this match. And it's a fact that can't be overlooked, and I think Wanderers really got to try shut her down quicker.
And now, having started the move that's won this corner, Caristal will take it here. Lexi Moreno standing next to the goalkeeper. The ball's going to the back post, and the header finds a way in. UNSW have turned it around, and they have a 2-1 lead. And after trailing early in this game, UNSW have been able to put themselves into the ascendancy.
Yeah, just the header from Demi Koulizakis there. It was excellent header just at the back post.
Demi Koulizakis, the goal scorer. Excellent header, and able to power it in for a 2-1 lead for the home side now. And what do you make of the comeback? Because this second half had been pretty evenly balanced, but now they have the lead to show for it, the home team.
Yeah, I think it has been a very evenly balanced second half, but I think it's definitely an uphill battle for Wanderers now. Obviously, you've got a strong team in UNSW and a great keeper on the pitch in Aaron Naylor, and it's going to take something special from Wanderers to be able to put something past her.
UNSW get the decision here in midfield. Kasakia fouled by Gabilla. Channing takes it quickly. And on one bounce, two bounces, Hall has the ability to collect. Uncontested. Bradshaw out to the left. Touched inside here is going to create a contest. Through comes Koulizakis with the confidence flowing. It's Demi Koulizakis. Saved! And the follow-up just wide of the post. Agonising for Alexia Karastal. Lunging out to the ball. And it just went the wrong side of the left-hand post. It so easily could have been 3-1.
Yeah, UNSW were coming out powerful there. That was a great save by Amy Hall. And good by the defender there, I believe, Chelsea Barton, to just put off Alexia Karastal there.
Well, they broke quickly. Koulizakis, with all the confidence of just having scored, unleashed a shot from the edge of the box. And, well, it set up teasingly.
Yeah. And we've just got some subs here. We've got Gabala coming off for Sienna Arata.
And it looks as though Alvina Kashaba is the other player who has made way here. No fourth official, so we will keep you posted on who the other player coming on was. But Sienna Arate in the number 26 shirt comes on. And here is the other change. It's Isabella Sultan who's come on as well, the number 10. And she's on the ball straight away. So some fresh legs for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Looks like it might have been accompanied with a few more positional switches as well. We'll see how this has affected who's playing where. Maybe players just returning to their regular positions now. Here's Barker. He's going to send the ball back to Bradshaw. Over to Barton. See Moreno buzzing around, making a presence. Barker. Back pass again. Barton. Now Khalil. Keep. Long ball, hoping the runners can chase after it here. Yamahata clears. Karastal. Back to Yamahata. So Gabilla, Kashaba and Caraveras have all been subbed out for Wanderers, and Sultan, McKenzie and Arate, the three players that have come on. Puxty. Early ball. Hammond looked offside. And as she takes possession here, the assistant referee over on the outer side raises the flag. So Isabella Sultan has seemingly gone to centre forward here for the Western Sydney Wanderers. They've got Annika Stajic playing just a little bit deeper now. Over on a left wing. And then Alyssa McKenzie on the right. Long ball here. McKenzie's the target. Continues her duel against Leah Puxty. McKenzie can't get past Yamahata. Now Barker. McKenzie. Running diagonally. And then Yamahata again. The obstacle that the Wanderers just can't get past at the moment. Here's Arate. Switching flanks out to the left. Natali, Wanderers goal scorer from the first half, is over there. Look at this run from Bradshaw. Great run from the defender right to the edge of the penalty area. And then, well, it was neither a pass nor an attempt in the end. It was just sort of the ball running away, and Alyssa McKenzie was just out of reach of the ball.
Yeah, just a little bit of a miscommunication there if he was going to take the shot, and it's just led to an easy clearance for UNSW.
I think if it had just been a decisive pass, it would have found its way to Alyssa McKenzie, as we see a cross in here, easily collected by Erin Naylor.
Wanderers are looking good after making those subs. They're clearly attacking intents. They've taken off 2 defenders there, and they've put on attackers, so they're definitely going out to get this back. Obviously, you've got Natalia's dropped back into that left back position with a whole new front 3 now.
Well, one thing they have shown, and we saw it in the first half, is that they're very adaptable to switching positions in-game. So you'd think that it's not necessarily going to disrupt them too much, having made that double sub. Push here is going to lead to a free kick UNSW's way, a 3rd goal, and it would be a very tough task with just over 20 minutes to go for Wanderers to come back. But we did see them create a very good chance when the game was 1-1 to take a lead of their own, so as long as there's only the odd goal in it, Wanderers will fancy themselves, and they're going to spill possession here. Yamahata caught late by McKenzie, and that means that Barker is not going to be able to run through with the ball. Unless McKenzie... I don't think there's any thoughts here of the referee of reaching for the pocket. It was just a hard foul.
Yeah, I think the referee has let quite a bit go. Obviously, as you've mentioned, only the 1 yellow card in this game to Alexia Carastal. And I think it's a good physical contest.
You're right, it's been pretty well behaved too. There's been fouls, but there hasn't been anything that's boiled over. Hammond, edged out here by Keep. McKenzie, Khalil, great turn by Barker, and was going down in installments there, but the referee didn't see a free kick. So Barker continues the movement here for the Wanderers. Stajic heard the shout from Natali, played it out to the left, and Christodoulou breaks even in a 50-50, spills the ball out to the line. Back to Channing. Channing to Kasakia. Yamahata, Kulizakis, able to turn, sends the ball over to the left, flag up again. And Milan Hammond, well, she protests here. She was looking down the line, but I think just half a step before she got back in line with the defenders there.
Yeah, she did appear to be looking across the line there. Not too happy with that call, but we're always going to trust the referees there. They've got the right angle for that one.
Put it this way, the home fans who are lined up with us in the grandstand, no complaints there. So play continues here at the feet of Arate. Wanderers now, their turn to look for an equalizer. UNSW, as things stand, heading for a perfect 2 from 2 record to start the 2026 season. Khalil wants to drive out to the left, doesn't like the options, and now she's caught in possession by Kulizakis. Only Moreno ahead of the ball, waiting for support to get forward here. Moreno bides her time, watches the runners advance. Puxty is going wide to the line here, got a little shove, and the whistle does come here. And it's been one of the most compelling one-on-one duels within the contest overall today. Alyssa McKenzie and Leah Puxty battling against each other. Just a telling off for the Wanderers winger, maybe a last warning. And maybe I would suggest, Emily, that the next foul we see that's at or around a yellow is going to be the next yellow card for someone, the next unlucky player.
Yeah, I think Alyssa McKenzie there has had a few talkings with the ref. But no yellow yet to come out of them. But it is definitely feel like it's building up to a yellow card. It's definitely to keep this game in check.
So as things stand, if UNSW do win by this exact score, they'll be second just behind Apia, and they would be the only two teams with a perfect record after 2 games. Manly United winning late today to go to 4 points. Bulls Academy with a 2-1 win against Macarthur today to go to 4 points. And then everyone else, 3 or less. Here's a cross in. UNSW looking for that 2-goal buffer. As Karastal chases the ball down. Yamahata. Kulizakis. And now Puxty, not quite. Just a little bit too much on the pass. So on the right, Keep. He's going to play that out. Too tough for Mackenzie to retrieve. Puxty back to Yamahata. Channing would have seen Stajic advancing in the corner of her eye, so heard the shout from Erin Naylor, plays the back pass. Now Naylor out to Christodoulou, cuts it inside for Channing. Channing's pass taken by Kokoris. Poppy Channing down the line. Christodoulou. Looks like we might have had a couple of subs for UNSW going through the last of their preparation here, but no indications just yet. They're about to make a change. Down to 16 minutes to go.
Yeah, UNSW have put up almost a good 75 minutes with this starting 11, and they've looked good. They don't seem like they need a reason to have a sub, but it's always going to be nice to get some fresh legs on the pitch.
Barton, centre of defence for Wanderers. Looks up and decides a long ball is the answer. Mackenzie with it all to do. Can't head it to her own advantage, though. Yamahata's been everywhere for UNSW in this second half. Kulizakis, a clever little sidestep, and now sets Hammond to task. Keep his first to the ball, and the back pass is accompanied with a shove. And I did suggest the next foul might be a booking, but Milan Hammond again is the next one to walk the tightrope without a yellow card popping out of the pocket. Wanderers aren't going to protest here. They just want to get the ball moving as quickly as possible. And a quick trio of passes. Arate running into trouble, but kept the ball in the challenge of Kasakia, at least initially. Kasakia went back in for seconds and was able to win the ball away.
Yeah, I think Wanderers know they don't have too much time left here. They've got to get at it to try to get this goal back. And
by the looks of their bench, they may be the next to make 2 more subs and have all 5 changes made. Natali backtracking here, plays the pass to Amy Hall. Natali's down. I wonder is going to stop the ball or continue attacking with 10. I think Mia Natali, it might just be cramp, hopefully for her, but she's still down in the defensive penalty area, which of course would be playing everyone on side for UNSW. So this is a concern. Yamahata over to Christodoulou. There's no need for any of these UNSW players to get back in line with the defence here because there is a defender down and Lexi Moreno, Natali, back to her feet. Well, she popped up when the game needed her and clears the ball away, and now she's down again. So I think that this might be her last involvement in the game. Thankfully, it is only a cramp, but how about that? She was playing everyone on side, and then when the moment arrived, she got up and cleared the ball.
Yeah, definitely an interesting tactic there, but always there for her team, and she's cleared that one out and is now able to get some help there from the medical staff.
So both teams are almost going to use this like a strategic timeout in the last 15 minutes here. They're running over to the bench. It's become quite a mild night. Looks as though UNSW are at last going to action their first substitution of the game as well. Someone's got the bib off over there at the sideline, so I think we're about to see a flurry of activity and some new faces to take us to the finish line in this one. UNSW enjoying a 2-1 lead and as things stand would be joining Apia Leichhardt as the only teams to win their first 2 games of the 2026 season. And it's Milan Hammond who, a little properly, is moving to the bench. She's had her injury issues in the past, so maybe starting to feel the pinch of cramp. She heads to the sideline, and I think it's Georgia Plessis, yep, the number 18, who has come on here. So another former Wanderer, Georgia Plessis, has entered the game, and she'll be looking to use her speed out on the wing as a replacement for Hammond. Bit of enthusiastic chat between the referee and the Wanderers bench here. I think this inorganic stop to the game, as Mia Natali is now belatedly helped to the sidelines, has allowed the game to really come to a standstill here. We saw 6 minutes of additional time in the first half, so I'm sure the central referee will be carefully making sure that all of this is made up for at the end of the night. And now, sub-activity over on the Wanderers bench. So Mia Natali leaves the game. And coming on is Ava DaCosta in the number 18 shirt. So she's going to get some minutes here. Just waiting to see if it is a double change in the end for Wanderers, or if they're going with just the one for now. Repeating that the sub for UNSW was Hammond off, Plessis on. And a drop ball to restart play, so Wanderers looking to venture forward here, and DaCosta wants to get involved straight away. Channing. DaCosta. And now Khalil to Barker. Keep. To Barton. Arate, really clever, nice pass on the turn. Cut back inside by Sultan. Couldn't keep the attack going. Karastal works it out to the right for Christodoulou. Plessis able to take possession in midfield, working with Koulazakis. Now the return ball. So Georgia Plessis, the fresh legs of the sub here for UNSW, out on the wing. Looking up here at Amy Barker, is ushered towards the line. Now has support from Puxty. Well, Puxty tried to nutmeg McKenzie, who was having none of it. And McKenzie breaks in the other direction here. Look at the speed here from Alyssa McKenzie. Still going. Past Yamahata. Sultan attempting the through ball. Can't squeeze it through a tight gap. And now UNSW consolidate. And the ball ends up at the feet of Erin Naylor.
Yeah, a great run there from McKenzie. I think she's really showing off her speed there, as we've seen throughout this whole game.
Okay, the other sub that came on was Annika Driscoll, the number 31. So she's come on here. That'll be the process of elimination for who came off, though. I suspect it may have been Annika Stajic who came off. I can't see her out there at the moment. This duel between McKenzie and Puxty leads to another free kick. Those two are going to be sick of the sight of each other by the end of tonight. Hopefully it's handshakes at full time. It's been a heck of a duel. So that other change is this player here. No, Bradshaw is going to receive this pass here. She might be in a bit of trouble too. She's able to hold off and win the foul. But, as we see a quickly taken free kick out to the left. Wanderers looking to build. Cut inside. Barker will want her left foot here. Back out to the flank. Khalil. Shooting range. Takes it on. And Naylor makes a good save. It was dipping late. Maya Khalil with a shot from distance, and it's on target.
Yeah, a great powerful shot there. Wanderers are clearly still out to get this goal back, but obviously Naylor, excellent goalkeeper, and it's going to take more than that to trouble her in the goal.
So Khalil back on the ball immediately. Trying to send it through the left. Christodoulou knocks it down. Here's Driscoll, the most recent sub. Not able to keep the ball though. Pickpocketed. And forward go UNSW. Kokoris trying to slalom through the different opponents and not able to draw a free kick. was taking on the Wanderers defence single-handedly there, but ultimately ran out of space. And out it goes. And all of a sudden, we're up to the 82-minute mark. But there will be a decent little chunk of stoppage now at the end of the night.
Yeah, there have definitely been a few stoppages in this half, but I think Wanderers are still going to be keen to get this ball underway quickly because they're going to want this goal back.
Barker draws a free kick here. Khalil in two minds about where to go. Backwards ends up being the answer. Barton switching over to Bradshaw. Bradshaw clips a pass forward. Sultan chasing Yamahata. First to the ball. Hits the line. Christodoulou being challenged by DaCosta. Back to Yamahata. Christodoulou. Moreno, good hold-up play. Protects the ball and can turn and send it forward. UNSW looking dangerous here. Caristal into the path of Puxty. Plessis leading the line, and Mackenzie backtracking. Stops a pass from ever being sent forward. Arate switching over to Driscoll. Driscoll inside to Bradshaw, and now Arate. Well, still high tempo. The subs have brought some fresh legs and energy to this game, but some of the ones that have gone the full 90 are the ones driving Wanderers forward here. Driscoll making a run. Takes on Christodoulou, and Christodoulou's done really well to see it out for a goal kick. Excellent one-on-one defending.
Yeah, I think Wanderers have made some great changes to keep up the tempo, but those core players that have played the full 90, they're still in it and they're still fighting for this goal. As for UNSW, as we've pointed out, they've only had the one sub, but they're still playing just as high tempo.
Seems to be, no indication that they're going to shut up shop here and defend this 2-1 lead. Maybe some subs here will start to show their hand. Lexi Moreno is going to make way. I think it's Chloe Smith that's coming on, at least based on the knee brace that she was wearing in the reserves earlier, where she played almost a full game, but is coming on for a cameo here. Right at the end of the night, 5 minutes of regulation to go. Moreno comes off. Of course, she had that big chance in the first half, but then her free kick led to the equalizer from Yamahata. She certainly had a busy night at the top of the attack. And on comes Chloe Smith, who's got a great goal-scoring record in NPL Women's, so she'll be hoping that with only a handful of minutes she can make an impact here at the end of the night. Still no indication that UNSW are going to sit back and defend this 2-1 lead. They want a third. They want to shut things down for good. And this late in the night, a third goal pretty much would be curtains for the Wanderers. Kulizakis. Tumbling ball out to the right. Caristal blazed through. Kokoris held the ball up nicely. And now Caristal is away. The home fans like it. The cross intercepted by Bradshaw, though. Bradshaw flashes a pass into the midfield. Kulizakis still working hard. Christodoulou back to Channing. Looked up at two pressing attackers. Yamahata got to be careful with the touch here. Caught by Mackenzie, and then the ball bursting forward, but not able to capitalise with Sultan. And Yamahata almost caught in possession there by Alyssa Mackenzie.
Yeah, I think as we've talked throughout this whole game, the speed of Alyssa Mackenzie is just something that UNSW have had a hard time dealing with. And I think most teams would. She is an extremely fast player, and it's definitely come as an advantage to the Wanderers.
Ball. So Wanderers starting deep in defence. Hall outside the penalty area as she drives out to the left flank, and it's a good run here. Driscoll. Christodoulou gets goal side though and wins the ball away. Excellent defending. Angelique Christodoulou turns defence into attack. Now the run down the right-hand side. Kokora's taken to ground, and the referee does not reach for the whistle. 3 minutes of regulation to go. Hall. This time out to the right flank. Clever touch from Mackenzie. Little grab and grapple from Puxty, but Mackenzie able to retake the ball. Advantage given now. Barker trying to slide a through ball and asking just a little bit too much of the attackers. And that was always to the advantage of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, the refs just played advantage there. A little bit of grapple between Puxty and Mackenzie, as we've talked about this whole game. But yeah, nothing that was ever going to trouble Naylor there.
Barton into midfield traffic. Well anticipated there by Kasakia. Trying to knock it on for Smith off the bench. Cleared by Hall. Khalil rolls away with possession. Very nicely done. I think that was the challenge of a player on a yellow there from Caristal. She knew not to wipe the opponent out. Even a red card at this late stage could be important. Here's Barker inside the penalty area, trying to roll against Yamahata. It slides on. Mackenzie equalises. It's 2-2 for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Great play by Amy Barker on the wing and into the path of Mackenzie, who couldn't miss.
Yeah, excellent play there by Amy Barker. I think she had some great footwork there to get around her defender. And I think, as we've been talking about this whole game, Alyssa Mackenzie, she's had a great game since she's come on and just had to slot it into an open goal there.
Well, that sets up a big finish here. Stoppage time will be very, very interesting. UNSW, they've got a team out there to go for it. And they may well do here. Plessis onto Caristal offside. And Wanderers have been chasing an equaliser all half, so they're in a position where they've got a very attacking lineup out there as well. You've had a quick look at the replay here. Emily Arnold and UNSW, uncharacteristic defence, falling asleep there.
Yeah, I think that was good work by Amy Barker, but yeah, they were definitely caught a little flat-footed there. They weren't reactive when that cross came in.
So Mackenzie, a goal and an assist, and didn't even start tonight, so she's absolutely put her name up in lights in this round 2 game. And given that Western Sydney A-League have a bye coming up where they'll get 5 or 6 players back, it's going to be a very difficult starting 11 to get into this Wanderers lineup. And as things stand, Apia are the only team with a perfect record after 2 games, because these two would be going to 4 points apiece if it stays 2-2. Wanderers, they're not satisfied with the draw. They want all 3. Here's Driscoll. Trying to skip forward here, engages Kasakia, who wins the ball away. Back pass. Channing, aggressive touch out to the right touchline, and then gives the ball away with the pass. Just wonder, are Wanderers about to roll downhill at the end of the night? We've ticked into stoppage time. No 4th official, so it's all on the discernment of the central referee. Here's Mackenzie. Can she have one final say? Lifts across into the box. The header is saved on the goal line and sits up and cleared. Sultan very nearly won it for Western Sydney. Naylor makes the save. Now a follow-up shot is caught, and it was going wide by Khalil. Off target. But the late show has arrived from Western Sydney.
Yeah, Wanderers have put out their attacking field here to get that goal back, and they've managed to do that, and they're looking for a third. They're not looking to settle on a draw.
Are they going to get caught the other way? Here's Caristal winning the ball. There's 2 in the middle here for UNSW, and Plessis shot it first time rather than take a touch, and that could have been UNSW back in front. We've only had 1 minute at the end of the night. It's the kind of game you don't really want to finish here because both teams are going for it.
Yeah, a game that you definitely want a winner in here. Both teams have performed excellently, and they're both looking for the win. Neither of them sitting back, neither of them wanting a draw.
Wanderers' turn. It's an end-to-end finish to the night. Whoever's got the ball is just all-out attack here. Barker, great strength in midfield. Holds off Caristal, pops it over the top. Yamahata chests it down, scuffed away. Barton, the centre-back advancing, tries to drive it through the middle. Naylor comes off her line and collects the ball. Mackenzie was there, but not able to get there first. Now Puxty. Can she start an attacking drive? That's going to bend the wrong way off the outside of the foot, and that takes us to 2 minutes of stoppage time ticked by. Keep to take the throw in. Wanderers hustling. Sultan dispossessed by Yamahata. Mackenzie on the scene. Foul. Free kick UNSW. Their chance to go forward here. And Wanderers are dropping plenty of numbers back. Free kick taken quickly. Yamahata driving it on the diagonal. In comes Driscoll. Broke the contest, and now DaCosta. Bit of grabbing going on. The referee's put the whistle away though. Christodoulou, Koulizakis out to the left. Plessis attracts two defenders and then plays the pass straight to Arate. And well, Arate maybe a little hurriedly just playing it to the sideline. 3 minutes ticked by. How generous is the referee feeling at the end of the night? Puxty. Caristal. Koulizakis. Kasaki is free in midfield here. A bit of space to work with. Moves it on. Angelique Christodoulou takes the long shot. Christodoulou and hooked it. It's going to bend around though. Plessis crosses it back in. And over the head of Kokoris, who's going to wheel around at the edge of the box. Pickpocketed though. And well done by Driscoll. Clears it away, but the ball stays in. Channing reloads for UNSW. Channing pops it into the box, and off the synthetic it bounces truly into the gloves of Amy Hall. Exhale. What a minute.
Yeah, very end-to-end stuff here. Last-minute drama.
Well, Wanderers want to create a bit more. Puxty, back pass, Naylor, only Mackenzie to deal with. Plays it back out to Puxty on the left flank, brings the ball down. 4 minutes ticked over. Into a fifth we go. Khalil. A bouncing ball. Yamahata read it best. Launching forward here. Yamahata out to the right. Kokoris, can she go? Runners in the middle. Chloe Smith calling for the ball. Kokoris back to Christodoulou. Clever pass, not quite. Arate gets across. Referee takes a look at the watch. 4.5 minutes ticked by. Kokoris rolls away from the byline. Jennifer Kokoris with the cross. Khalil slices it. And now backtracking. Caristal takes possession. Puxty sidestep against Mackenzie. Christodoulou. Angelique Christodoulou with a strike and held on to. Referee looks at the watch again as we tick up to 5 additional minutes played. Amy Hall's going to take her time here to get back to her feet. We had 6 in the first half. It looks as though we continue into a 6th here in the second. But the whistle goes. A share of the points. Unbeaten starts to the season continue, but neither can leave with a perfect record. And a late equaliser for the Western Sydney Wanderers. A game where both teams led twice, where both teams had to come from behind, and it finishes in a 2-all draw. Wanderers started the scoring through Mia Natali, got the equaliser late through Alyssa Mackenzie, and in between it was goals from Aya Yamahata and Demi Koulizakis that gave us our full-time score. Emily Arnold, your final thoughts and maybe a nomination for Player of the Match as well. How has this 2-all draw left you feeling?
I think a 2-all draw is a pretty fair result after that. I think both teams went out and played very good matches. As for players to know, I think Alyssa Mackenzie, since she came on for Wanderers, she set up that first goal with an excellent cross and scored that second one. I think she's definitely a player you can't be looking past.
Well, I will take note of that when we text through the 3-2-1 for Team of the Week. Because, of course, the match commentators are who put in the votes, and then, of course, Football New South Wales collates them all and puts that together. So keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for the highlights on the Football New South Wales social media channels. Thank you for your company on Football New South Wales YouTube for this one. On behalf of Emily Arnold, my name's Teo Pellizzeri. Your full-time score from the Village Green, University of New South Wales 2, Western Sydney Wanderers 2. Good night.